Okay, I think everyone is back and ready for the test. So please use the link in the chat box. And let's join the activity, please. Okay, perfect. We're ready. Choose the right option. 1 second. Okay. Oh, pretty good. Beautiful. Perfect. Amazing. Mhm. 9 correct answers. Very good. Nine seconds. Right on time.
Don't.
Beautiful. Perfect. Amazing. Five seconds. Beautiful. Vanessa, Evelyn, and Natalie were the fastest players. Very good, but look, everyone got 96%. And that's an excellent result in your test. Very good, very good. Congratulations. Also, nothing to stress about, right? The test was not difficult. Very good, you did amazingly well. Now, let's continue. Okay. Let's go back to our handout. And oh, what happened here? Change. Anyway, let's take a look at activity V. We have a link there. Before you open the link, read the instruction, please. You have a few seconds to read the instruction. Are you reading a story, an email? What type of texts are you going to read?
Interview.
Interview.
Aha, very good. What is typical in an interview? What is the structure? What is the structure of an interview?
Questions and answers.
Answer question.
Perfect. We have questions and answers. So we're gonna read this interview. Take a look here in slide number 1. Is a long distance swimmer, and there is a very small introduction. Now, if you had to interview Katie, what kind of questions would you ask? Please use the chat box and write 2 or 3 questions that you would probably ask this long distance swimmer. Why do you like to be a swimmer? Good. Thank you, Maria. You can also speak on the microphone. I would prefer that. But if you want to write the questions, you can do that as well. How often do you swim? Very nice question. No worries, Maria. I understand you can write the questions, no problem. I'm gonna read some of the questions you write in the chat box. How do you plan to achieve your goals? Nice question. How long do you swim every day? Very good. Who did you ask for help? Okay, how did you ask for help to do it? Good. Let's wait 30 more seconds. Thank you. More questions. Where will you swim next time? Good. Now let's take a look at the real questions. Let's see if your predictions were right. I'm going to make this disappear. Look at the questions. And what's your next swim? Something similar was said in the chat box, right? Do you train with a coach? So how do you train for a long distance swim like that? Okay. Why did you decide to become a long distance swimmer? What's been your most dangerous experience so far? So here we have 5 questions that were for real asked during the interview. Now, let's take a look at the first part of this interview. Here we have the interview, and here we have the questions. Please read the first part of the interview and decide which question should go there. A, B, C, D, or E. Don't write the answer in the chat box, just keep it for you. And then after 2 minutes, you're gonna be in the breakout rooms discussing your answers. Okay, so you have 2 minutes to read and then decide which is the right question there. Thank you. Now, please go in breakout rooms and discuss your answers. There we go. All right. Welcome back. So, Ligia, what did you decide in your group? Which is the right option and why?
For us, the letter D. Tell me, why did you decide to become a long distance swimmer?
Why?
Is she gives a reason.
Okay. What's the
This is
reason?
the interview.
Mhm.
The people say, tell me, why did you decide to become a long distance winner?
Okay. Is there any other reason? This question is for anybody in the class. Is there any other reason why letter D is the right question here? Letter D.
Because the question refers about what is the reason to, in this case, Katie decide to become a long distance swimmer, and she expressed in her answer she loved swimming, and she was inspired by other swimmers, and give a complete sentence about how feel with practice with this sport.
Very good. So it's like she's explaining her history, right?
Yes.
She's explaining why she became a long distance swimmer, not in competition. Additionally, if you look at the question, this is probably the first question you would ask in an interview, right? Because if you look at the other questions, they don't really look like a question you would ask first. So, yes, letter D is the right option. Very well done, everybody. Now, it's time to work individually. Vanessa, would you please help us? Vanessa, can you please share the platform in the screen? Go to the platform, please, Kelvin. In the platform, you're gonna find just a second here. No, don't open the ebook. Go back to the materials. Keep sharing the platform, please. So that everyone knows where to find the workbook. Thank you very much, Vanessa. So let's go here. First, as usual, let's open the JetStream book. Thank you. Now let's scroll down the menu and let's choose this option that says Libro de Trabajo in Spanish or Workbook. Thank you, lovely. Once you open the workbook, go to Unit 1, the role of water. Once you're there, go to the next page, page number 6, 7. The next one, please. There you are. Page number 8 and 9. Please work individually and complete the rest of the readings. All right. Let me just see. Now you have 8 to 10 minutes to work individually. Thank you, Vanessa. Now, please take your time, go to your workbooks, and complete that activity. If you want, you can turn your cameras off, and when it is 2 minutes to finish, I'll let you know.
Teacher, I'm sorry. What page you say?
Page 8 of the
Page 8 and 9 in the workbook. Is your workbook open?
Thank you. Yeah, yes.
Perfect. 2 minutes left. Let's continue. So in number 1, we got letter D. What about number 2?
E.
Number 3?
C.
Thank you.
C.
Number 4?
B.
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 B, number 4. So in number 2, what was the answer?
Number
B and A.
4. B.
Oh, E. E and B, we have different opinions there. See?
Mhm.
What about number 5?
A.
Letter A.
A. So that's all right. Let's. There we have D, E, C, B, and A. Excellent. Let's continue. Very good job. Your homework is to complete activities 2 to 4 in your workbook so that you can reinforce the vocabulary and a little more reading. Now, let's move on. And here I have another worksheet for you. This time we're going to focus on grammar. We're going to use a text to learn how to work with modal verbs and write sentences about water using modal verbs and vocabulary that you study. Now, take a look at these sentences. These sentences come from this reading here. Let me just show it to you. Do you remember this reading? What was the reading about?
About bottled water.
Bottled water and what
Tap
was the
water.
Water.
Aha, very good. So these sentences here were taken off that text. Look at the parts in blue. We're going to match the parts in blue to the correct meaning of each sentence. Now I'm going to share the link here. Let me just copy the link. There you have. Don't forget to go and click Archivo, Descargar, and find the Microsoft Word copy for you. So we have 4 different options. It's strongly advisable to do it. It's impossible to do it. It is necessary to do it, and it is advisable to do it. You're gonna be working together, so go in breakout rooms, please. And discuss your ideas here. There we go. Okay, welcome back. Now, it is strongly advisable to do it. Which one is the right sentence for this one? It's strongly advisable.
Letter D.
D.
Does anybody have a different opinion?
Yeah, I have a different. I think that is the letter A. Nutrition say we should drink around 2 liters of water a day. But also, I only think I also think that the letter D could be.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Osvaldo has a different opinion from everybody. Why do you ladies believe that letter D is the right answer and not A?
Because in letter D use must.
And
Yes, and must we use when it's
Strongly advised.
yes, it's strongly.
strong. So must is a strong modal, right? And that could be a difference. Okay, we're gonna check that in a minute. What about number 2? It is impossible to do it.
Letter B.
B. Does anybody have a different opinion? Number 3, it is necessary to do it.
Letter C.
Letter A.
Okay, why letter C and why letter A? Let's start with letter C.
It's necessary to drink water all days for our body. It's very necessary drink the water.
Okay. Someone said letter A. Why letter A?
Letter A is for
Okay.
letter C. I don't know. I say letter A.
Who said letter C?
Teacher. I think because women and girls have to work, so it is necessary to do it in order to get water.
Okay, so you are looking at this have to.
Yes.
We use have to express a necessity to do something. Okay, that could be an option. Okay, what about number 4?
A.
A.
Letter A.
And why is that?
It's an advice.
And what's advice? What's another word for advice?
Should you use should when you give an advice.
Okay, when you give advice, let's color this one here. So what you are doing is creating a sort of relationship between the words in red and the meanings. What do we call the words in red?
Morals.
Modals. The modals express something. And depending on the modal, you can show different attitudes. For example, if you say that something is strongly advisable, the attitude is completely different from someone who says it is advisable to do it. Right? In which case, it would be a sort of obligation to do it. When something is strongly advisable or when something is advisable. Which one would sound more like an obligation?
Must.
Only,
Must, definitely must. It is a strong modal verb.
Mhm.
Not necessarily an obligation, but it is strongly advisable. There aren't other options. This is like the one for you to do. So let's take a look. Mhm. So number one, correct letter D if you said D. Number two, correct. Number three, if you said C. And number four, advisable. It's just a recommendation, not necessarily an obligation. But something can be just necessary to do it. Now, take a look at the modal verbs. What follows the modal verb? Let's talk about the form. Just a minute, please. Just a few seconds. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's talk about the form of modal verbs. We have the modal, and what is next? Look at the sentences here.
And a verb.
What form of the verb?
Base form
Infinitive.
or infinite.
Let's use the same let's use the same language, okay? Let me just underline it here. So whenever we use a modal, we're going to use the there, the very infinitive. Okay, so that's my very infinitive. Let's color it blue. So you remember that we have modal and very infinitive. Okay. Notice we never use any other word between the modal and the very infinitive. Now, we should drink around 2 liters of water a day. Listen to me, please, 3 times. We should drink around 2 liters of water a day. We should drink around 2 liters of water a day. Where is the stress? What is more emphasis? The modal?
Modal.
Aha. We should drink around 2 liters of water a day. Salome, please repeat.
The stress is in the model.
Repeat the sentence, please. We should drink around 2
We
liters.
should drink around, I don't.
2 liters of water a day.
Okay, we should drink around 2 liters of water a day.
Perfect. Maria, please repeat.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
We
Can you
should
repeat?
drink around 2 liters of water a day.
We should drink around 2 liters of water a day.
Vanessa,
Should.
please.
we should drink around 2 liters of water a day.
Ligia.
We should drink around 2 liters of water a day.
Listen, most people can't tell the difference between the two. Most people can't tell the difference between the two. Where is the stress?
Should.
Most people
Can.
can't tell the difference between the two.
We should drink.
Cancel.
Can't.
Can't.
Aha. So
Most people can tell.
exactly, most people can't tell the difference between the two.
Most people.
Evelyn, please repeat.
Most people can't tell the difference between the two.
Beautiful. Natalie? Didn't think, not Natalie. Berta?
But most people can't tell the difference between the two.
Beautiful. Women and girls have to walk enormous distances.
How to.
Women and girls have to walk enormous distances. Have to walk. Have to walk. What do you notice here? Have to walk. Women and girls have to
Stressing
walk.
the verb.
What happens here? How do you pronounce this preposition?
How to walk.
The preposition, how do we pronounce the preposition?
To.
Aha, but to. But
To.
what happens in the sentence? Listen. Women and girls have to walk enormous distances. Women and girls have to walk enormous distances.
How to walk.
Do I pronounce to? Women and girls have to walk enormous distances. Have to. Have to.
Have to.
Have to.
Have to.
Have to walk.
Vamos a ver. Have to walk.
Have to walk.
Have to walk.
Walk.
Aha.
Vamos a ver. Have to walk.
Have to walk.
Have to walk.
Have to walk.
Have to walk. Have to walk.
Vamos a ver. Have to walk. Have to walk.
Have to walk.
Exactly, have to walk. So here we have the schwa. This sound is called schwa. Have to walk. Aha, women and girls have to walk enormous distances. Evelyn, can you repeat the sentence, please?
Women and girls have to walk enormous distances.
Distances, beautiful. Aha, Osvaldo?
Women and girls have to walk enormous distances.
Beautiful. Ligia?
Women and girls have to walk enormous distance.
Aha. So notice that when you use or when you pronounce the modal have to in a sentence, you don't use the strong form of to. You use the weak form. And the weak form is the schwa. That is why when we do listening activities, we may have problems because I want to listen, women and girls have to walk enormous distances, but in reality, they say, or they use the weak form. How to walk enormous distances. We must change. We must change. We must change. What is the strong form? Where is the emphasis?
We must change.
Must.
We must.
Must.
Change.
We must change.
We must change.
We must change.
So look at the example here. What could be one pronunciation rule when we use modal verbs? Should drink around 2 liters of water a day. Most people can't tell the difference between the two. Women, girls had to walk enormous distances. We must change. What could be the golden rule when we pronounce or when we use modal verbs in sentences? Which one is stronger, the modal or the main verb?
Modal.
Aha, exactly. So here, pronunciation tip. Stress on the modal. Okay. What questions do you have for me? Okay. Let's check our student book. Page 13, activity 7. Go in breakout rooms, please, and complete that one. Let me put you in breakout rooms so that you can work together. Okay, so what do you have in the first one?
We don't have to drink
Okay,
bottled water.
We don't have to drink.
you don't have to drink bottled water.
Mm,
Okay. It is possible that bottled water has high levels of bacteria.
Bottled water can have high levels of bacteria.
Bacteria. Okay. Maybe it's time we stop buying bottled water.
We should.
We should.
Should stop.
Mhm. Bottled water. Maybe it's time, possibly it's time. Okay. Someone in the other group, on another group, we mentioned can, but then it comes the attitude. Maybe it's time. It sounds like a recommendation, right? Like advice. It's necessary for people to walk a long way to get water. People
Have to.
have to walk a long way to get water. Okay. Now, look at the modal verbs. This is very similar to a Cambridge exam section, part number 4 in the B2 exam, where you have the original sentence and you have to rewrite the second sentence with a specific number of words without changing the meaning. So notice how the modal verb is used to express the same idea than the original sentence. Necessary, have to or don't have to. When something is possible, we think about can and can't. When we think about recommendations or suggestions, advice, should, and a strong advice, must. Let's check. Here we have the answers. Very good. Okay, so let's leave this activity for the next class. We were not doing it, so don't worry about that. We will do this in next class. Grammar. What can you tell me about this class? What will you remember? Important things to remember.
Modals.
Okay. Modals express different.
Possibilities, advices.
Let's say that modals express different what?
Push.
Different different attitudes. I want to express a necessity. I want to express an advice. I want to express a strong advice. So it's a different attitude, the one that I take. Suppose that I am a teacher. As a teacher, suppose that as a teacher, you want to convince your students of the importance of doing homework. So probably you might say things like, it is important that you do homework because you must practice what you do in class. Because you want to convince them and you need to sound convinced yourself. But if you don't want to sound that convinced, or if you prefer to give some advice to your students, you could probably tell them, I think that you should check the dictionaries when you are reading something and look up words. But you can't use the dictionary if you are doing an exam. See, so depending on what your attitude is, you would use different modals. Remember the form of the modal and the pronunciation tip. We practice sentences, and next class we will practice more sentences and do more activities. What questions do you have for me? Okay, so I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you very much for coming to this class today. It's really nice to see you after a week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next class. Thank you, everybody, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Fabi. Bye.
Bye.